Hello everyone, and welcome to the first devlog for my game Rockabye, and we're gonna see how my game went from this to this using AI. So about a year or two ago, when my kid was learning to walk, I got inspired by how when he was learning he would fall over and tumble. And I had an idea about a game that was like Goat Simulator, like with the rag dolls, but with a baby. So I got all hype and I went to the Unity asset store and I spent all day at work thinking of exactly what I was gonna do. And I bought all the assets I needed for it and I put it together and I spent like 3 months on it. And it wasn't fun. I started with a really small scope about a baby that ragdolls, and I blew it way out of proportion. I was building this scene where there's a construction site, and I had it rigid body physics break down, and it was way more complicated than what I, as a first-time game dev, can do. So I got burned out, and I stopped working on it. That was until I started experimenting with GPT. I noticed that my project was overblown and complicated from learning new ways to code, and so everything was slightly different. So I thought, what if I could use GPT to make a game? But what type of game would I make? I still had Baby Ragdoll on my mind, but instead of a big open world goat simulator type game, I thought, I've always loved 3D platformers, and I've always wanted to make one. And my kid is getting just old enough to where he's learning to play video games, so I'll make a game for him. The first step was to use ChatGPT to make a player controller that is significantly smoother than the one I made on my own. It was even able to take the ragdoll scripts that I had used and make them significantly better so that everything works exactly as I intended. I mean, look at the difference. My old character can't even go up slopes. I even added new movement mechanics like a crawl and a ball throw as an attack. Then it was time to make the enemies for the game, and I had to think about what would work with the world, and I thought, well, what if it was a baby going on an adventure in his dreams through a candy world fighting vegetable enemies? And thus, Brock the broccoli and Tom the tomato were born. Now, to just code them myself. And now that all the core essentials are done to start making levels, it was time to start making levels. So I bought a candy pack on the Unity asset store and started putting some ones together. Then it was time to think about how damage would work with the player. Instead of going through all the trouble to code a damage system myself, I just thought, since it's ragdoll, maybe the enemies do knockback, and then if you fall in the water, you're dead. So with all of that decided, it was time to start thinking level structure. And I thought of 2 different types of levels to keep it a little variety, but not too crazy minigame compilation. A straightforward linear platformer level, and a more open survival environment where you have to collect all the collectibles or kill the enemies to pass. And with all that done, I am now 3 levels in, and I'm building more every day, making tons of progress. And I'm hoping to have a Steam page up soon where you guys can wishlist the game. But until then, stay tuned to Silver Key Games.